get all the news from WTCN TV's expanded news gathering facility.
WTCN TV, Channel 11.
This is KARE 11 News at 10.
Now with Kim Inslee and Pat Evans. This is KARE 11 Today.
Well, hello again, everyone. A little bit of rain as we approach now the Memorial Day weekend.
Scattered showers,
Yep.
he says. Before we get into our show, and it's a fun one, we want you to stick around. We do have some breaking news for you. We take you to the newsroom now and Roxanne Battle. Rox?
That's right, Kim and Pat. Good morning. Woodbury police confirm a rape suspect is in custody this morning, though they are not commenting on much else at this point. Last night, police went door to door in several communities warning women to be on alert. Police believe the suspect may be responsible for 4 rapes in Cottage Grove, St. Paul, Inver Grove Heights, and Woodbury. In each case, women were at home alone, were tied up and threatened and raped. Police are holding a news conference within the hour in Woodbury, and we will be bringing that information as it becomes available. Now back to you.
Okay, Roxanne, thank you. We appreciate that, and we'll have more information as it becomes available. And at 9:30, around 9:30, we'll also give you the full news, what's happening locally. Great day, Pat.
Isn't it, though? By gum. We were calling for scattered showers all morning on the Sunrise Show, and look at that's what we have. Not heavy rain.
Warm.
We're going to show you radar in a few minutes.
Hey.
Get these nice smoothies.
Neat summer stuff. Yeah, Caribou Coffee came over this morning. They brought all these smoothies. I have the Mocha Mountain Banana, and you
I
have
have
the raspberry.
raspberry.
They have a cooler full of smoothies. They've got banana, snowy banana, strawberry, wild polar berry. It's so nice.
Extremely low fat.
If it was 80 degrees and sunny out here, it would be even better. But
Extremely low fat.
These are tasty. Are these low fat, Pat?
That's what they say. They're sweet. They're delicious. It's fresh fruit. So it's really quite good. I had one about a month ago when I was trying to get into the springtime/summer mode, and I fell in love with them. And I'm so glad to know that they're available everywhere at Caribou.
These are good. Our producer Linda Carter brought her Time magazine in, which is now getting all wet and damp and yucky, but it has some kind of interesting facts. This is the unofficial kickoff of the summer, like there was a spring. But let's get in the spirit. It's the unofficial kickoff of summer. It's some interesting facts. Between Memorial Day and Labor Day, we'll spend more than $2 billion on movie tickets.
And Americans are going to take more than 230 million trips, and we're going to buy 200,000 tons of charcoal briquettes.
In fact, Colleen Miner is over there right now. Well, she has a gas tank. There's no charcoal briquettes over there, right?
No charcoal briquettes. We're just working on cooking with gas, as they say.
That's just about the way things are working, though, as far as the environment goes. I think in a few years we won't even be able to buy the briquettes.
Could
the way
be.
things are going right now. And you know, the taste is the same. I used to think it didn't have the same taste, but it does. It's very good. Did it stop?
My husband
Kim's
maintains it does taste different, but he's a purist.
Kim, if you're not afraid of getting wet, I'm not afraid of getting wet. Let's take a look at Super Doppler 11 right now and show you that we have some scattered showers that abound. Yep, there's the one we're under, right under where it says twin.
Isn't that fortunate? We could be right under that.
I'm so relieved, but you know, that's nothing compared to the northwest. Look, there's more scattered showers up that direction right now, and that's pretty much the way things have been all morning long. In fact, the way things have looked on radar, they have looked almost identical to what we saw yesterday. There is a weather system that is pushing through the Dakotas, and that will gradually make its way through the state of Minnesota later on today. So we will see some clearing skies. Well, now it's starting to come down once again. So here we go with your forecast. That's not bothering the golfers. The golfers are out in the rain this Friday morning. We have presently, is that, 58 degrees out there right now. Cloudy and warm. Well, that chance of scattered showers, that has materialized right now. We're looking for a high temperature today with some sun breaks. That would be the qualifier there of right near 75 degrees. Southeast wind will be also something that we are looking for, from between 15 and 25 miles an hour. Well, you know, we said we're into this holiday weekend in earnest. You know, lots of folks are going to be going camping this weekend, and we thought it'd be a great idea to go out and check out to see what is hot in camping gear. So let's take a look. Boy, Boy, oh boy, there is nothing like waking up after a good night's sleep in the great outdoors. And let me tell you, this is my idea of heaven, waking up in a great store like Galyan's. We're here this morning because we want to show you the latest in camping gear. This is Greg Mendenhall, who is the manager of the camping department at Galyan's. Hey, good morning to you, Greg.
Good morning.
What do we have here?
Well, here we have a North Face internal frame pack, pretty much indicative of what's being used on the trail today. This is your self-contained home on the trail. Extremely comfortable pack, and this is where a lot of the innovation in backpacks today is coming into play in the technology and the use of foams and the way the pack distributes the weight to the hips, so the larger muscle groups. We have a contoured hip belt here that fits very snugly and comfortably around the hips, transferring that weight or that load in the pack down onto the skeletal structure of the lower body. Now, another thing that is very, very hot for today's camper is the oven. The oven sits atop the stove, and there's a diffuser plate that diffuses the heat, and then a little fiberglass cover just contains the heat. Heat's maintained at about 350 to 450 degrees.
So how much is something like this, Greg?
Around $60. And Pat, if you look right here, we've got our little temperature indicator dial. We just set our stove to simmer. Little red indicator goes up to the word bake, where we hold that temperature, and then no peeking, 20 minutes for a pizza, and you've got your finished product right inside.
Just like Mom's.
You betcha. Pretty nice tent. Generically, we call this a dome tent. This particular one is made by Sierra Designs. It's called the Stretch Dome. Weighs a little less than 8 pounds, so it's extremely light and easy to carry. And this is a 4-season tent capable of handling 6-8 inches of very wet snow. A tent not uncommon on the high Himalaya.
How much is
the
something
big
like
winds. This is a little less than $400.
How many people sleep?
Comfortably 2. It'll fit 3 in a pinch.
Wow, it's nice. I like this.
Pat, this is our bed. This is what gives us a good night's sleep. This will extend out to about 78 inches, and it's self-inflating. If you'll just
What do I do?
turn that valve, and we'll see what happens. Now the pad just draws air. That's good. The pad just draws air into itself, and as it's drawing the air in, the pad unrolls.
Greg, tell us about the canoe.
Well, this is an 18-foot, 6-inch rocket ship. Pretty much a Boundary Waters boat where speed and efficiency become very, very critical. You're up there for a nice time of vacation. Don't want to work any harder than you have to.
How much is something like this?
This runs $17.19. Kevlar, the material the canoe is made from, tends to be relatively expensive, but the benefit is the weight. It's 18 foot 6 inches, as I said, and 42 pounds.
Complete with paddles here, and I'm wearing a vest. Tell us about this vest.
Very, very important. People take their personal flotation device seriously, and it should be worn at all times. The vest you have here is specific to the sport of paddling, kayaking, or canoeing. It has a deep cut in the arm, and that's for more freedom of movement and more comfort when paddling. Active sports require a more form fit, and it's fairly snug too. So if you were to have to use this, you fell out of the canoe, the vest would stay down instead of floating up.
Well, safety first, always a good idea. We are being joined now by Ben Rischel from United Outdoor Stores. Good morning to you. Thanks for being a trooper on this.
Good morning.
Kind of wet weather morning out here.
This is great Minnesota weather.
Isn't it, though?
Wonderful camping weather.
Good for the skin.
You betcha.
Speaking of, you're here to talk about some really great spots to go this summer, but you also want to talk about being prepared. And that's really key to having a great trip no matter rain or shine, right, Ben?
It sure is. One thing about the state of Minnesota is we have lots and lots of options. And because we have so many options, planning actually becomes a very important part of the camping experience. First thing I'd like to say is that you have to take a look at your family. Do you have small children? Do you have older children? What kind of a camping experience do you want? A trip can be really ruined or made tremendous by planning. And if you have a young child and you have a trip that's too aggressive for that young child, it can really turn into kind of a horrible experience. So I just really want to stress that. Now, the options. We have state parks, we have state forest campgrounds, we have national forest parks, private campgrounds, and the facilities range from primitive to fully developed. The question comes, Where am I going to camp? I don't know all the facilities. Well, there are some wonderful resources that I have discovered. In fact, one just in the last few days. Minnesota Office of Tourism has a wonderful service called Journey. All you need to do is know what part of the state you want to camp, call their office. They will go over a list of up to 50 different amenities that you might be looking for, and they will literally design a trip for you free of charge, send you all the information. They'll give you everything you want to know. They'll give you historic sites, festivals, if there's bike routes, if there's boat landings, electric hookups, anything you want to know, and it's just wonderful.
So Ben, your goose, so to speak, isn't necessarily cooked, even if you haven't made plans so far, because I know a lot of places book up, especially for holidays and things like that. So if you use these resources, you can get yourself a camping site, for instance?
Well, if you want to actually reserve a camping site, that can be done in a number of ways. Now, you can call this the DNR. The state DNR has numbers where you can call, and it's a reservation service, and you can call and make the reservation. The other service, the Journey service I was talking about, is not a reservation service, it's just an information service.
And that's the Office of Tourism. We will have that number for you at the end of the segment.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, favorite places to camp?
Yeah, please tell us.
I've got a couple of favorites. I've done a lot of camping in the state of Minnesota. My absolute favorite is Itasca Park up in the Grand Rapids area. Just a wonderful, wonderful site, beautiful campgrounds. It's the headwaters of the Mississippi River. They have a wonderful ranger tower. You climb up the ranger tower and you can see the different levels of the forest as you go up, and it's just terrific. I love the great old trees, and they have tremendous biking trails there. Some other places that we camped, Jay Cook Park, part way up to Duluth. It's not quite at Duluth, and they have wonderful hiking trails. It's on the St. Louis River. Oh man, it's just beautiful watching the kayakers go down that river.
Ben, I really appreciate your being here today. It's so great to share this information. I have some phone numbers now that are relating to the things that Ben has talked about. Take a look now. This is the Minnesota Office of Tourism. The number on the screen, 296-5029, or the state DNR. You can call that number at 296-6157, 296-6157. Two really valuable resources that you might want to take advantage of. Once again, Ben Rischel from United Outdoor Stores.
Right.
Great to have you here today. Well, stay with us on KARE 11 today. We have lots more really great stuff ahead. We're going to take you live to the Plains of Fame Museum for a preview of this weekend's Memorial Day Air Show. And check this out, Colleen and Kim are grilling up a storm here in the wet backyard. Wait till you see the summer recipe we're offering you today. As we take a short break, here are some tips on saving gas as you go about your Memorial Day weekend travels.
Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go. Brand new shiny red super stock dog. Everybody say that there's nobody meaner than the little old lady. 'Cause she drives real fast.
Yikes. This is magnificent.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
Jeff Goldblum sounding like he's been there before. Jeff Strickler joins us now for What's Hot this weekend, and The Lost World, of course.
We've all been
is
there
the one
before.
everybody's talking about. Yeah.
It's a sequel to Jurassic Park.
It's deja vu all
You've
over
been
again?
there, yes, you've been there. I mean, and they don't even pretend that that's not what it is. It's designed to people who've seen the first movie. They don't explain what's going on. It's just, hey, let's go back to the island. Okay, and then off we go. And basically what it is the dinosaurs need humans to chase, and so they go back to the island, and it becomes a gigantic chase movie.
And there you have it in a nutshell.
But the technology has come a long way. You cannot see the matte lines anymore. There's 3 times as much dinosaur footage as in the original, and the nice thing about this is you can have interaction between the humans and the dinosaurs. They actually wrestle with each other now, which is pretty impressive stuff.
So the only reason to see this movie is to see the special effects.
The only reason to see it is to watch the dinosaurs, to ooh and ah the dinosaurs. And we should mention, specifically to parents. It is rated PG-13, and it deserves that rating. It's pretty grisly.
Let's say that in the strongest possible terms, because I know there will be 7, 8-year-olds, 6-year-olds who want desperately to see this movie.
And there are scenes in this. There's one scene in this where a human is grabbed by 2 dinosaurs and becomes virtually just a tug of war. They're ripping off his limbs. There's another scene where a stampeding dinosaur steps on a man, and we see him stuck on the dinosaur's foot as it takes 3 or 4 steps and then discards the flattened body. It gets fairly gruesome in spots. Now, after a lot of pleading and begging and arguing, I did take Allison, who's 9, to see this.
What'd she think?
Well, A, she's pretty movie savvy. She understands about special effects. And B, you got to realize about Allison, when I took her to see Beauty and the Beast, she was like 5 years old. And at the end of the movie, when the Beast turned into a man, she started to cry. And when I said what was wrong, she said, I liked him better as a beast.
Oh.
I think she was the only one in the studio who was actually rooting for the dinosaurs.
So if you had a mature 9-year-old,
what scared Allison was the anticipation of the attack.
Yeah.
Once the attack started, she was fine, but she had a sweatshirt with her and she'd put it up over her face sometimes when she could sense that the attack was coming. That bothered her.
A lot of parents take their littler kids because they don't want to pay for a babysitter, but you could be in for a whole bunch of nightmares and whatnot.
I mean, I'd never take Carla, who's 5. I wouldn't even think of it.
Okay, enough said on that. Special effects, if you want to see that, it'll make all kinds of money. You could say you win. Next movie we're going to see, Love, Valor, Compassion.
You run like a girl, by the way, Henry. Oh, you okay? That's it! Change partners! You show him, Gregory. Don't do this! You're traumatizing me! I'm back in the 6th grade, Coach Reardon's gym class. Nobody wants me on their side!
Jason Alexander. This was a big hit in New York when it was on the stage.
It was off-Broadway hit, went to Broadway, was a big hit. Now they've taken it and made it into a movie with the same cast, with the exception of Jason Alexander, who they brought in because they needed a name. It's the same guys who've been playing these roles, I think 400 performances. It reminds you of The Big Chill, it reminds you of Peter's Friends, but in pleasant memories. It's a group of 6 gay friends who get together in the house of a 7th friend every holiday and just sort of reassess their lives. And they form, the movie just bursts with affection for each other. They form this giant support group where they all just check in with each other and try to reassess their lives and basically give each other a reassuring pat on the back and saying, you're struggling, go out there and deal with it. And the problems range from mundane work problems to a guy who's got AIDS. So it's the whole gamut. The one of particular interest in this cast, you won't know these people unless you saw the play, but there's a man in here who plays a blind character, and that is Justin Kirk, who is from the Twin Cities and actually came from out of the Children's Theater Company.
Really?
So we do have a local connection to this. But it's a really a nice, warm show, and it makes you, it's a feel-good kind of movie that leaves you feeling good.
With Jason Alexander, and he is a pretty big name. More straight actors are getting involved in movies ever since Birdcage and Philadelphia and whatnot. It's been a very good career move for people.
It is, and he's good in this movie, and he's bubbly and full of enthusiasm and silly, which is exactly what the role calls for.
Okay, let's take a look at the next one as we talk about this, Addicted to Love. This is the Meg Ryan movie.
Now, this is the new Meg Ryan,
yeah,
and I don't like the new
I saw
Meg
your
Ryan.
review.
I want the old Meg Ryan back. This is a black comedy. And Meg's giving these interviews where she says she didn't like movies like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle, and I love those
All those movies that made her tons of money and fame and fortune.
So now she's trying to do these. This is a very unusual character for her, and I salute her trying to do something different. I just don't think it works. She and Matthew Broderick have been dumped by their respective fiancés, who ended up moving in with each other. So the dumpees decide to get revenge against the dumpers, and it's basically a plot movie where they just go about destroying their lives. Meg is she's playing this really nasty, bitter, chip on her shoulder person that I just didn't care for one bit.
You know, she does get hammered a lot for playing the cute, perky Meg Ryan. So she has tried to expand herself. She had a movie last year. She was a gritty.
Courage Under Fire, I thought was great. But I think the problem with this one, it's too close to her normal role because at the end she's supposed to fall in love with Matthew Broderick.
And
so
by then you don't like her.
No, then you don't like her. It just doesn't fly.
So there's range there, just not this movie.
The wrong direction. She ranged the wrong way.
Shiloh is a movie that I understand is for kids?
Is for kids, definitely is for kids.
What's this about?
It's an old-fashioned story with an old-fashioned telling. It's about a story about a boy and his dog. Well, it's not his dog, and that's the gist of the problem. The boy that we're looking at right there, Jake Heron, finds this young puppy that's been abused by his owner. His dad says, the law says you have to give the dog back. He does give the dog back, but he vows that he is going to raise enough money someday, somehow, to buy that dog back. And it's a real simplistic story. The characters are either pure evil or pure good. But it's a testament to love and devotion and determination, and you know, it's a nice little story, and it's got a cute dog in it. Wow, what more could you want from there, huh?
All age groups, or what age will kids go ho-hum?
There's no content that would bother age kids. I think kids maybe under 4 might just not be able to follow the story because it's kind of slow.
Up until before teenager, right before teenager? Or?
12, I think. It's getting a little, you know, when you get teenage, when you get to be a teenager, you got to get
I rely on Jeff for these things. Well, you get to see everybody's reactions
That's right,
as they're watching
yeah.
it. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you, and thanks, Lorraine, for stopping.
Yeah, well, we did it just for you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend,
You
Jeff.
too.
Coming up, Colleen Miner has something cooking on the grill. Also later on, Planes of Fame take to the skies above the Twin Cities. We'll have a live report. Yes, there is Frank Vassalaro. We'll see just how good he is up there. Also, if you're planning to take off this weekend, here are some helpful tips for your trip.
Singing in the rain, I'm singing in the rain. Now you know why I don't sing when I cook. Okay.
Thank you, honey. In addition to a brand new look, you've taken singing lessons too. My,
I don't think so.
Nice? Colleen Miner, the new and improved Colleen Miner. We have gotten more calls from folks over Colleen's makeover, which we showed you earlier this week. Is it fun for you?
It's very
is it still
fun for me. Everybody's very complimentary, but as you noticed, this isn't exactly the do that Christopher Hopkins.
Yeah.
This is the real Colleen Miner, sort of casual, sort of, you know.
Well, perhaps
whatever.
that will be another segment. We'll show you how to blow dry your hair. But
Yes.
today, Colleen isn't here for the makeover. She's here to make a great salad, right?
I'm here to make over wild rice. You know, a lot of people think about wild rice as a winter accompaniment.
Why don't you sit down, darling?
Well, it's hard to cook and sit down, but here I go. Okay, so what I have done is I have cooked wild rice here, and I have drained it, and I have chilled it. So this is cool. Okay, now I'm going to make this fabulous salad. Everybody loves it. You can make it ahead. Great to take on picnics because it's not very perishable.
Love the idea.
And this is what we're going to do. Into that about 4 cups or so of cooked wild rice, we're going to put some golden raisins. Are you familiar with golden raisins?
I buy them all the time. I love them.
I love them. I love the taste of the golden raisins. They're fruitier, they're lighter than a regular raisin. Of course, if you can't get golden raisins, you can use regular raisins in this dish. It's fabulous. Okay, now I'm going to take about a cup or so. That's what I love about my recipes, you know, a cup or so, whatever. Don't measure, just put it in, of smoked turkey that I have cubed, okay? And then I'm going to take a can of green chilies.
Those
and
are
these are mild green chilies, guys. They're not going to add any heat. They're just going to add just a little bit of interest. And then I have got some toasted almonds.
Oh, those are so good.
Oh, you take one right off the top. Okay, so you mix this in, and what's lovely about this, and I just not. He was taking out of the can, and I knocked his hand out. Naughty boy.
Feeling kind of perky with your new look, aren't you? Well, I hope your next employers are as generous.
I would have done, if you were my own child, Pat, I would have done the same.
Thank you. I think I'm young enough to be.
Now, wait a minute. This is not your old Colleen Miner you're talking to.
That's right.
This
the
is
new
not
one.
Grandma Miner.
No,
this is young and sassy.
That's right. The babylicious Colleen Miner. All right.
Anyway, now what we're going to do is we're going to put vinaigrette on that, and you can use olive oil, about a cup of olive oil, no, a half a cup of olive oil, excuse me, and some like a red wine vinegar, which makes this a wonderful salad. It tastes delicious, but it adds a lot of calories to it, and I just found this stuff. It's Consorzio raspberry balsamic vinegar, and it's 0 grams of fat and 12 calories per 2 tablespoons, and the taste is absolutely heavenly.
That would be in lieu of the olive oil if you don't want to use the half cup
in lieu of the olive oil and vinegar.
Olive oil.
Smell this, Pat. It is so.
Oh, nice, clean.
Isn't
I like
that
that
wonderful?
smell. Yeah,
and now what you've done is you've made this wonderful salad fat-free. And it's absolutely delicious. You can make it, you should make it a couple, 3 hours ahead of time because the flavors blend, and it's absolutely wonderful. It stays in your refrigerator for a week or so. It's a wonderful summer salad.
Or if you're packing it along for a picnic, Colleen,
For a picnic, so you don't have to worry about salmonella and all that good stuff happening. And I just wanted to mention that our picnic we've got buns from Bread Smith.
Oh, and those are so nice.
They're so good. They make hot dog buns, hamburger buns. Great for picnics.
I love all that. Colleen, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, thank you, I will.
Please be careful.
Sure will.
Be safe out there. Friends, stay with us. If you'd like a copy of this recipe, please check it out. Give us 2 to 3 weeks if you would to get that back to you. It's Colleen's wonderful chicken, wild rice, and smoked turkey salad. Excuse me.
That's
but you
okay.
could use chicken too.
Sure you could.
Stay with us. We're going to update you on news headlines. I'll have a full forecast for you and lots more really cool stuff ahead on KARE 11 Today.
Good morning and welcome back. It's about 9:30, time to get caught up on the news. And once again, breaking news in a case that you first heard about on KARE 11 News yesterday. Roxanne Battle joins us now from the newsroom.
That's right, Kim. This morning's top story, police confirm they've arrested a suspected serial rapist. Investigators aren't releasing many details, but believe the man is responsible for as many as 4 rapes in the past 3 weeks. The latest attack happened in Woodbury early yesterday morning. A woman was raped in her home just after her husband left for work. On May 4th, a Cottage Grove woman was raped after a man asking for directions forced his way into her home. That attack took place around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The 2 other attacks happened around 7 in the evening, one in Inver Grove Heights, the other in St. Paul.
All of them were home alone. There was an intrusion into the home.
He's blending in very well to the neighborhood that he's in. He seems to know the neighborhoods he's in.
We expect to learn more about the suspect soon. Police say they will release details about the case at a morning news conference. Look for more information on KARE 11 News at 5, 6, and 10. Fire in a daycare center has left some Minneapolis parents without a place to drop off their children this morning. The fire broke out around 3 a.m. in the parish hall at St. John's Episcopal Church, which serves as a daycare center during the week. Minneapolis firefighters were able to save the church building from going up in flames. They ran a hose inside the church to soak it down.
The origin of the fire was in the kitchen area and right in the area where a coffee pot was, one of these coffee makers, and there could very likely have been what started the fire.
Church members say they're just happy that no one was hurt in the blaze, and they say the loss is a little easier to take because St. John's was in the middle of remodeling the parish hall. Authorities want your help in locating a White Bear Township woman who's been missing since April 27th. Investigators searched the home of 37-year-old Toni Ann Bachman yesterday. That's where she was last seen. Police say they have no evidence of foul play, but they are calling the disappearance suspicious. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Ramsey County Sheriff's Department at 481-1320. After 14 years behind the anchor desk, WCCO anchor Colleen Needles is quitting her job. Earlier this year, Needles filed a suit with the EEOC claiming she was sexually harassed by the station's news director, Ted Canova. But now, WCCO officials and Needles say they've resolved their differences, and as part of the deal, Needles is dropping the suit. Her last day will be May 31st. Needles plans to work full-time on her new children's program, Once Upon a Tree. Let's go back out to the backyard with more Memorial Day preparations with Kim and Pat. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Roxanne. Boy, what a bumpy start to the holiday weekend with a little rain shower activity, but that's starting to let up now, so we're very glad to see that. Let's take a look at live radar right now as we continue to move you on through a Friday now. We have some scattered showers. They've moved through our neck of the woods right now, and even seeing some clouds part and the sun's trying to come on through. But you can see towards St. Cloud, up toward Pine City, there's still some isolated showers. Even Owatonna, you're seeing some rain right now. And that's pretty much what we're going to be seeing as we move through the rest of this morning before this system pulls itself out of here. Here's a look outside now, 61 degrees. South wind at 13 miles an hour. Humidity is pumped up to 51%. The dew point 43 and the pressure 30.08. It is falling right now. Here's a look at your forecast as we travel on through this Friday. We'll look for Well, mainly cloudy skies this morning, but I do expect some continued breaks with some sun as we move through into afternoon time. Chance of scattered showers, well, we have been bearing witness to that this morning. If the sun does come out, we'll look for the mid-70s. Otherwise, right near 70, I expect for the high for today. On into tonight, it's looking pretty good. Mostly cloudy skies. That will keep a blanket or a lid on any daytime heating that we experience. So in the mid-50s overnight, so that qualifies as mild. Then into the all-important weekend. Here's how things look. This is a chance of a shower. Don't be scared off by the rain showers on the Saturday over the icon there. It looks like we'll see some scattered showers. The possibility exists. Right near 70 degrees, a little bit cooler on Sunday in the upper 60s and near 70 degrees as we move on into Monday. Lake Country forecast for today looks like some scattered showers. You're seeing that right now, 65 degrees. Tomorrow, 72. Still a chance at some showers. And Walker Bemidji will round the bend with your forecast, 63 for your high today. You will see some breaks as this system makes its way through, and tonight right near 48.
I think it's safe to say that you're all safe because all the scattered showers are happening right over here with the KARE 11 backyard.
I know, but now they moved. Isn't it nice?
Okay now.
What a great way to start the day.
First birthday is another good way to start the day, and we're going to start with Thomas Doherty, who lives in St. Louis Park. Aw, he's 1 year old, likes to go for walks and run around the playground. His favorite activity, though, playing guitar with Dad.
Kim, it's Sarah Jackson of Maple Grove's big day, and look at this beautiful girl. Yeah, she enjoys splashing around in the bathtub, and she just loves hanging out with her 2 puppies and her brother, Daniel.
Anika Berglund of Bloomington, also turning 1 year old, a beautiful child. Anika loves to give lots of hugs and kisses, sit out in the sunshine, and clap and sing at church.
Isn't she cute?
She is.
Great birthday, babies. We want to wish everybody celebrating a birthday today and this weekend a happy birthday.
And now she's back, Colleen Miner with today's KARE 11 Viewer Value.
Body care professionals promise you a massage in comfortable and relaxing environments. Their massage therapist provides stress reduction and sports injury relief. They're offering our viewers 50% off the price of an hour massage. So call 926-2539 to make an appointment. They are even extending their offer from May 23rd to the 31st. Remember to ask for the KARE 11 Viewer Value and ask about their other many services.
Quite a nice sight in the skies above the Twin Cities. Memorial Day, of course, is the day that we set aside for remembering people who fought in our nation's wars, people who gave their lives for this country. And to honor America's veterans, the Planes of Fame Museum puts on an annual air show over the Memorial Day weekend. And Frank Vassalero is at that very location, Flying Cloud Airport in Eden Prairie, to give us some more information about the event. Did you get to go up in one of those things, Frank?
I shot that video, as a matter of fact, Kim.
Good for you.
It was incredible. It was a huge rush, and I'll tell you, folks, here this weekend at Flying Cloud Field near Eden Prairie, a unique, wonderful way not only to commemorate Memorial Day, but you'll learn some things. You'll have a great time in the process. Let me crawl out of this Jeep and show you some things that are incredible. This is a P-63. Aviation buffs tell me there are only 4 of these flying right now in the world. So it's here, and it's a great, unique opportunity for you to take a look at. Come this way. This big airplane here in the middle, that is a B-25 bomber. If you were to come out here, you can actually look underneath that bomb bay door. You can kick the tires. You can feel this thing and really get a sense of what it's all about. And to the right of it is the Mighty Moose. That is a P-51 Mustang. That plane was built in 1940. And Kim, it was a thrill for me. It was the first model airplane I ever owned. And check this out. Watch this video today. I got to go on a bit of a ride today, and it was absolutely incredible. A powerful, powerful, powerful machine. This thing cost about $600,000 in today's dollars. And this is one of 22 airplanes that is going to be out here over the course of the weekend, starting tomorrow. All World War II warbirds. There are going to be flights, daily flybys that you can see and watch these birds in the air. There are going to be some talks and some lectures that will not be like talks and lectures that will bore you, but things that will fascinate you about our nation's history. That was incredible, taking off and flying in that thing today. I want to go ahead and bring you back here now, because joining us this morning, a real honor and privilege, is really a living flying aviation pioneer and legend. This is Colonel Frank Borman, Apollo and Gemini astronaut, and also former chairman of Eastern Airlines. Good morning, Colonel.
Good morning. Good morning, Frank.
Can you tell folks who might not know a little bit about what is so significant about what is going to be out here at the airport today?
Well, these are the machines really that preserved our freedom. We sometimes take it for granted, but the people that flew these sacrificed everything to keep us free. That B-25 there was the airplane that bombed Tokyo first with General Doolittle. And the P-63, most of those went to Russia. They were tank busters. The P-51 was the best fighter plane of World War II. Some of my Navy friends might dispute that, but I think it is. It was the airplane that finally allowed us to get the mastery of the skies over Europe. So these are all very important machines from our past.
And even for folks who aren't big history buffs, they're just really fascinating things to look at.
Well, they are, and you talk about the technology. This was the technology basis that allowed us to go forward in the space business.
And that's what got you up in the air circling the moon.
That's what got me circling the moon in 1968, you're right.
And you will be available to, you're gonna give a talk and a lecture, right?
I'll be out here for 2 days, yes, Saturday and Sunday.
And I understand that if folks come out early, about 10 o'clock or so, they can maybe get a photo and an autograph.
I'll be more than pleased.
Well, thank you. Colonel, good luck. Thank you for the education and the history. Really, no exaggeration, no overstatement, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity between having Colonel Borman here, a man named Dick Rossi who was with the Flying Tigers, and all these planes plus about another 20 more for you to see, touch, and feel. It's a great opportunity. Let me give you the details on the Plane of Fame Museum taking place at Flying Cloud Field in Eden Prairie. Go ahead and let you know that the air show starts tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, May 24th through 26th. Gates open at 9 o'clock. I'd say be here a little early. It is, again, in Eden Prairie, and for information, 941-2633. Admission for adults is $8. There's a deal for seniors, and also kids there's a big deal for. So, Kim, you know, Kim and Pat, it's really a great Memorial Day observance because you get to have a little fun, so you feel like you're enjoying the holiday. You get to learn quite a bit about what made this country our country, because if it wasn't for birds like this, who knows, we could be speaking a different language today or something even worse.
Well, I'm glad you got a chance to go out there being a pilot yourself, so.
Yeah, it was a thrill. It was great. And then also my father used to work for Colonel Borman years and years ago, so it's been a great day for me. And I tell you, folks come out here, they'll have a great day themselves.
Okay, Frank, thanks. We have more coming up, more family fun, great way to spend some time with the kids and create something kind of unique. We'll have more when we come back. Pottery and Pins. Welcome back. Well, Memorial Day weekend upon us. Not only is that the unofficial start of summer, but it's the time when kids get out of school. Oh boy.
And know what that means? You know what that means?
You get bored?
No. Moms and dads are looking for activities to keep the kids busy this summer. And this morning we are delighted to introduce a new addition to KARE 11 today, Lori Coleman, who's going to join us from time to time with some great activities in the Twin Cities for families. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, welcome. It's great to be here. Thanks.
I guess summer, it's kind of funny because the kids look forward to summer, and I think parents really do dread it because they don't know how to keep everybody busy.
You've got to come up with activities, no doubt about it.
You've looked around the Twin Cities and you have come up with some unique things, and today we're going to show one of them, which is doing your own pottery, which I think is a lot of fun.
It's a wonderful little shop called Sorella, and I think it's part of that kind of trend of maybe Martha Stewart influence where you create your own kind of artwork, do-it-yourself product, something that's not ready-made.
I can't wait to take a look. Let's see.
Hi, we're here today at Sorella, which is a fun new shop that's part of a great new trend of creating your own pottery, your own artwork. And we've got Angela here today, and she's going to tell us exactly what we need to do to get to that process of this to our beautiful finished product.
First of all, the guest comes in and would want to choose a piece of pottery. The pottery is in the form of bisque. We have quite a few different ideas. We have the beer mug, we have canisters, we have the clay pots, and basically you just need to select your piece and then we're ready to paint.
And that's a big decision. For my first effort, I've selected a vase, and now it's time for me to choose the colors. Now, I think this is the fun part, but it's also a little overwhelming. So, Angela, can I have a little help?
Sure. We have dozens of different colors to choose from, and really it kind of depends on where you're going to put the vase. If it's going to go in your home, or if perhaps you're going to give it to a friend as a gift.
I think I'm going to keep this in my house.
Okay. Should we start with, let's say, an orange, and let's try the melon?
Sounds great.
Okay.
So I have my piece, my colors, and now it's time for design.
Right. Well, if you don't know what you want to paint on your piece, we have a book of ideas. We have stamps, we have stencils, and we have sponges that you can use as well.
This is really a lot of fun. I can see why this would be a trend that would really catch on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it started?
Actually, we read about it in People magazine a few years ago, and it started out on the East Coast and then picked up very rapidly on the West Coast, and it's now just sort of spreading, you know, across the country. It's a matter of people, I think, just really enjoying designing their own things, designing their own pieces.
Now, I bet this would be fun to do in a group.
It is. Actually, we have a studio downstairs that we hold birthday parties and wedding showers, and we've done holiday parties and a lot of little kid birthday parties too.
In fact, I think my little girl Sarah was at a birthday party here,
Was she
and
really?
it was really a lot of fun, and she still has the little pieces in there.
That's actually one of the reasons why kids love it so much is they actually get to take the piece home with them. Not the actual day that they paint, but we glaze and fire it for them, and they come back and pick it up. But kids really, really love it. It's a great family thing to do.
Once you finish creating your masterpiece, there's one more step, and Jennifer's going to tell us about that. Jennifer, what goes on in here?
Basically, this is where we do all the firing and glazing. We'll take your piece, put it in the kiln. We fire everything for 8 hours up to 1800 degrees. Take it out again, glaze it, fire it again for another 8 hours, and this is what it comes out to look like. The finished product is shiny,
That's
glazed, and ready to use.
That's beautiful.
And it's the finished product right now. It came out nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready to give up on retail, but I think it's, but it was a lot of fun, and the kids love to do it too. I'm saying front room bouquet of flowers. They Okay, look great. Sure.
It's got very nice muted colors.
Well,
in it.
you know,
It
I
would
went
go
for
with
a
anything.
simple design, just the stripes, and it's when they fire and glaze it, it all looks good. It does. Now you were saying your daughter Sarah did something like that. She's 6 and she had a good time.
Oh, she loved it. She did a little teapot, a little saucer, a pretty little ornament. She loved it.
Are you kidding? Every kid loves bud pies and that kind of stuff. This is like,
yeah, it's a great thing to do for give for grandma and grandpa from the kids or anything. Bridal showers, birthday parties.
Or personalizing. You did something with Alyssa.
At Christmas time, yeah, we put her handprint on stuff, and it was successful about half the time. But I think you have to pay for the piece of pottery, and then where I went, it was an hourly charge for how long you were there, and it wasn't expensive. So
no, and it's fun.
It does look like a lot of fun. Well, you want to go back now, I imagine.
Oh, I'm going to get really good at this now.
I could do a whole set of dishes.
I'm going to do my whole set
Lori
of dishes.
Coleman's spinning all these new careers. Well, I think it sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank
We're going to
you.
look forward to seeing you again.
Great.
Thanks.
Yes, Lori will be with us throughout the months ahead, giving us some family activities to do so you don't get bored. And if you're interested, Sorella is in St. Paul. It's on Grand Avenue, and you can reach them for information at 298-8747. Well, we have more coming up as we go to the break. Check out some information about the Hennepin Park so you can get a free brochure containing some information about facilities and all kinds of summer programs. We'll be back in a couple minutes. I feel like I'm interrupting on this.
Lots of calls. Where'd you get this?
Okay, I picked this up at Byerly's. This is a Consorzio raspberry and balsamic marinade and dressing. Lots of different fruit flavors, by the way. I've seen it in lots of gourmet shops, Home Place, Dayton's. It's terrific stuff and low fat.
Tastes wonderful,
Yeah.
too. Really nice.
You're looking at me like I'm supposed to say something.
And now, Kim?
Well, I've been enjoying the salad back here. Pat's had a hot dog. I've still got my smoothie. The day is not lost, okay?
It is not. But we want you to stay with us because on Monday we have a huge show. I mean, a really big show. Pubs have their own brands of brews. We're going to take you inside a local brew pub.
Interestingly enough, Pat arranged for that story for himself. Also, Memorial Day, it means water activity for a lot of Minnesotans. We'll have some boat safety tips.
And we're going to talk with veterans about the meaning of Memorial Day and how it has changed over the years.
Lots coming up at on Monday at 9. You have a safe and a wonderful weekend. We thank you for joining us
This is great.
today.
Be safe wherever you're going.
I'll watch you guys from my cabin.
Go to the